Hi guys, it's me, Jason, coming to you again from my home shop here in Napanee, Indiana. I thought I'd just do a quick little video about the ELCO and all the changes that have been done to it over the last couple of years. So let's get comfortable and have a conversation. Well, hi guys. Now that we're here comfortably inside the ELCO, let's just go over where the ELCO was and where we've taken it. So when I originally got the ELCO, it originally had a small block 350 Chevy in it. But what did the car come with originally? The car came with a V6 originally. The guy that we bought it from said that it had a 305 in it. So our original plan was to just, you know, blow it up, switch it out for a small block 350 and go. Well, we got the car home and we kind of looked around at it a little bit and we're like, well, heck, the numbers on the block match a 350. The guy who sold us the car was mistaken in saying that it was a 305. And that was really good for us. I mean, that was a game changer. Because that meant we didn't really need to do much to get where we wanted to start at. So we hit the local swap meet, and these are some of the first parts that we put on the ELCO from the day we got it. We hit the local swap meet, and we got an intake, some headers that were straight up through the hood, and I think, yeah, that's about it. I think we got a chrome air cleaner too, you know, just keeping with that theme. And that's what we started with. I'm pretty sure we changed the radiator right about then too. And we just did like a full service on it. We got spark plugs and like a cap and a rotor and spark plug wires. And we put a new radiator in it. I didn't put new radiator hoses on it, but we put a new radiator in it, and you know, mechanical fan and some stuff like that, just to make it a little better than it was. And you know, that was kind of where it lived with the motor. It had a turbo 350 transmission, which was a great combo. So, you know, a small block 350, a turbo 350, that was a pretty solid combo. It had the stock 7.5 GM 7.5 inch rear end in it. Dustin welded it up with welded up the diff in it. It had a horrible gear. It had like a 273 rear gear in it, so it had way more gear than it really needed. So I only ever did a burnout in like first or second gear, because that's all the more the engine would pull. And that's how it lived for like the first year and a half. You know, it just worked. It was one of those things. If I was spinning around in a pit, I'd just leave it in first gear. If I was doing a standing burnout, I'd go from first to second, and you know, it would just go, and it would make a great smoke cloud. It was really reliable as a small block Chevy, always is. But as it goes with like burnout cars, you always want more. And I had ambitions of building a big block. I wanted to build a big block Chevy and go to a turbo 400 transmission. And I tried to buy some heads, and I just couldn't seem to get heads. And it kind of got to a point where it was kind of an issue. So that kind of pivoted, trying to make a quick move to go to an LS, something that we could build relatively quickly and inexpensively. And while attempting to pivot and move quickly to a LS, I hurt my hand That's a whole nother saga. And that eventually caused delays in putting the LS in it by almost a full year. And the LS just got into it last year. When we went to the LS, it's an LS with a turbo 400. Went to Indianapolis Burnouts, and an Aussie, Craig Bailey, he runs the Imposter car, little white ute, beautiful, beautiful white ute. He came over, and he was talking to me about the Elco, and I chose to pick his brain, and he really gave me some solid ideas of like what I could do to improve it. You know, sometimes it's people aren't just going to come up to you and offer, hey, you should do this, or hey, you should do that. But if you see somebody who is clearly better at it than you are, it never hurts to just ask, because, you know, maybe they will tell you something other than like the kind thing that you want to hear. Maybe they will tell you the honest thing and, you know, give you some, you know, if you're willing to hear it, maybe they'll give you some advice, and you can, you know, go with it. He gave me a suggestion of like what rear gear I should run, and he also gave me some suggestions on the cooling setup I had on the car, and, you know, just a couple other things. And, you know, I took them, you know, I did them. So we improved some cooling on the car, and I definitely went out and got a rear end. So that's kind of how the car evolved. It went to an LS with a turbo 400, and then we got the Ford 9-inch rear end, and that was kind of the aluminum drive shaft. The aluminum drive shaft that's in it, that came when I busted the drive shaft the first burnout I did in a competition. And so that was kind of the main bits of it. You can kind of say just the powertrain, but like, what about the rest of the car? Just now in 2026, I updated the front suspension and the front steering. Late in 2025, I went to a better steering rack, or a better steering box, to get a quicker steering and to get rid of some of the slop in the steering wheel. And then some friends made a suggestion about the front suspension, like, hey, what are you doing with that? And I was like, yeah, it's kind of not the right way. So over the winter, I corrected that and made that the right way. And then again this year, I ran into another Aussie, and Mick Brasher, and again, I took the opportunity to ask some questions, and I said, hey, my car will go really quick when I turn right in the pit, but if I turn left, it, you know, kind of doesn't want to turn left. And he instantly said, and I kind of asked him, like, why does it do that? You know, like, why does it do that? And what do you guys do to correct for that? And he instantly was like, oh man, it's the rear steer in your car. The next thing I know, the guy's like crawling under my car, like looking at the rear suspension. He's like, you got to mess with those links. And I said, no problem, can do. And, you know, I went home almost immediately and got those and put them in, and it really did help. So it's kind of that, like, right now, you know, like right now, what is left on the Elco that's original? And we're essentially down to the body of the car is still the original body of the car. The frame is still the original frame of the car, and the interior is still the original interior in the car. But other than that, absolutely everything has been replaced. Everything has been hopped up or souped up or done to do a better burnout. So I mean, it's like a full built burnout car. Gee, you know, it's kind of interesting that, you know, it's just kind of evolved along the way. And it's kind of interesting too, because like some of the issues that I'm having now, like with seeing and stuff like that, it's like I never thought about that like, because I never had an issue with it. And you know, the steering of the car. And it's like, as you make like incremental improvements, you know, the car gets better, but at the same time it unlocks like new problems for you to solve, and you're just like, I don't know what to do. It's so interesting. I absolutely love burnouts and burnout competitions. I love the competitors. I love all the people that have helped me along the way. I mean, there's just so many people. I can't even name them all. Like, even like Nubs and FSI Tuning or FSI Racing, with helping me getting the car tuned. I mean, there's 100 things that I stumbled on when I swapped the LS into this car, where I didn't know what was wrong with it and I couldn't figure it out, and I would simply send a file to Nub, and he would come back with, hey, go look at this. Like, hey, looks like there's something wrong with your crank sensor. Hey, is this really what it's saying or doing? And like, it would send you down that path of like, oh, I need to go look at that, and I need to go understand, and I need to go learn. And you would come back with, oh yeah, that wasn't right, sorry, my bad, I fixed it, help me now. Like, so it's kind of interesting. Everything from like a crank sensor to like the fast EFI throttle body that I had with the injectors in it that wasn't really distributing fuel correctly. I had no clue that wasn't working right. But, Nubs, clued in on it real quickly, and like, just as soon as I changed it, the car completely changed how it behaves. And it's like, there's a lot of people that have given me like little pieces of advice along the way that have really led to some huge gains. So that's interesting. That's what's fun about it. Like, definitely build a burnout car with your buddies. What's the future of the ELCO? I don't know. I mean, I never know, because there's always a problem right around the corner that you're gonna have to solve. The car has been running in its current state for quite a few burnouts now, and the changes that I have made are little incremental ones to improve it. So, that's cool. Like, what are some big changes I'd really love to do? I'd really love to put a blower on it. I'd really love to have, a 671 on the LS. I think that would be cool. Am I going to do that? Probably not anytime soon. I'd also really love to go back to that whole big block. I think that's a great idea, honestly. I'd really like to revisit the big block. I'd really like to build a big block for this. Keep it EFI, like an EFI big block in this thing. Oh man, that'd be sweet. Possibly just go power glide. I don't know. I kind of like the first gear in the Turbo 400. Makes it real easy to get on the trailer, but like, other than driving around the pits or putting it on the trailer, that first gear is useless. I start my burnouts in second and smack it up to third just about the time it hits the rev limiter. So I don't really think a power glide would help me out. Wouldn't be an advantage over the Turbo 400. I don't know. Rear end's working really good. The transmission's working really good. The little LS60 is just absolutely punching above its weight and beating up on tires. The current setup is reliable. It's nothing I would just replace just to replace. The cooling system has plenty of capacity for what I'm doing. Yeah, I think I've made some good decisions. Other than like learning to drive, I wish I had a burnout pit locally. I wish there was some place I could just go practice on a Saturday, like any given weekend. Just like show up and blast a couple of burnouts, and then put it on the trailer and go home, and just continue to just get wheel time in the pit spinning around. Yeah, other than that, I don't have much. Like, what do you guys have for questions about the Elco? I think I've asked this before. What do you want to see? Okay, I said it was going to be a real quick video, but, you know, that's just how much I ramble. I hope you didn't mind me rambling too much. You guys really do give me a lot of motivation and drive to keep doing this. I like doing it personally, but it's so much more funners when you get to bring you guys along with me. And I really do love seeing you guys like out in the real world, like in the pits. So if you're ever at an event that I'm at, please come find me in the pits. I got something for you. Other than that, you know, hit the smash the subscribe, like, and share button. You know, do all those little things for me. It helps the metrics of this channel, helps me grow, helps me do cooler things for you, and bring you along with me. Heck, maybe you're like down in Florida and you're watching this, or you're down in Australia and you're like, oh, that's cool, but I'll never see him in the pits. Well, we grow this channel big enough, you just might. So, who knows? Thanks for hanging out, guys.